Drifted away from Henry. And it's it's time to go!
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Claude and the Bansters. Thank you all for joining me. Obviously, I'm Terry. Will be the host for this evening. And as you can see by the thumbnails, that on the last video, the verbal diarrhea that was coming out of Diesel's mouth. To be honest, I've only watched half of it due to work, night and day, and not having a lot of sleep. I've only watched half of it, but to be fair, I could only watch half of it with the verbal diarrhea that was coming out of his mouth, and we will get into that in a minute. But he's going by that last video he's done. He's out in the ring, and he definitely wants to be the new leader of the Arteta Rats, knocking Lee Gunner off of top spot. I will get into that in a minute. Definitely, without foul. I think, to be fair, I love him. Everyone knows that I love him. We love each other, me and Diesel, but we've obviously got different views on different sides of the fence. And, sometimes, like a lot of people, they take my kindness for weakness. But we will get into this in a minute. There's a couple of things I want to say first. Obviously, there was another huge Arsenal fan that lost his life last week to COVID. I think his name was Danny. I didn't know him personally, but I know a few people that do. Apparently, he was, a massive person when they went to the Grand home and away. So I just want to say, from me and Diesel and everyone at Call of the Bansters, sending our condolences to his family. Jimmy, I think someone's put, I don't know if that's true. Danny, I think it is. So Danny, sending our our condolences to your family and your friends, mate. And sorry you had to go through that. Also, some sad news today was that Michael Ballack, the ex-Chelsea Germany player, sadly lost his son to a freak accident on a quad bike while he was on holiday. So everyone, again, from me and Diesel and Claude and the Bansters, would just want to send our condolences to his family too. Breaking news today. We've got massive breaking news today, obviously. Jack Grealish, the first £100 million player, has moved to Man City. Listen, I wanted Jack. I would have loved to have had Grealish here. He's an absolute phenomenal, fantastic player. But obviously, at the moment, we can't compete with Man City. That's another subject in itself that I think me and Diesel will be covering in the near future. Obviously, what I can't understand, looking at what's happened today with Man City, just quickly, this is nothing to do with what's going on in the background and what I'm going to get onto in a minute. But why on earth? I've got nothing. First of all, what I want to say is I've got nothing against Man City, the Man City fans, whatever. Fantastic that you've gone out and done it, and rightly so. Football teams should be able to go out if they've got the owners that can put the money up straight away and get these players. First thing I would like to say is, how comes FFP don't come and play for Man City and they can go out and spend this money, especially if they go and spend 150 million on Kane? I don't understand it. Why can they do it and nobody else can? And secondly is what happened about a month ago. That's right. What happened is that all the clubs got together, all the clubs fans got together and was in uproar about the Super League, right? About the Super League. And there were two main reasons why there was uproar about the Super League. One, which was very, very important, which I understand. And that was there was no promotion or relegation. That was a big bollock drop from them for not doing that. I don't know why they didn't do that. And second of all, apparently, was that the top six that was going into this Super League, they would have been getting between 400 and 450 million each season to participate in it. And everyone was saying, well, how can we compete with that? How can any other teams compete with that? So if this happens now and they go out and spend 250 million, surely that's the same principle. How can teams compete with that and keep up? So what I'm saying is how can you have one stance on one thing and not the same stance on another? Because it's the same thing, unless someone wants to try and tell me otherwise. What's the difference? That's what I want to know. What's the difference? But like I said, we'll be getting onto that in another stream, me and Diesel. So we'll be looking at that. And the other one is obviously massive news. Barcelona and Lionel Messi no longer, after I think it is 21 years. Lionel Messi won't be playing for Barcelona next season. Obviously, they did come to some sort of agreement. But I think when I was looking and reading the news today, it looked like something like Barcelona needed to get rid of 197 million off their wage bill to keep Messi at Barcelona next season. It's never going to happen. So unfortunately, even though Messi has turned around and said, I'll take my pay cut and cut it in half. So instead of getting £500,000 a week, he will be getting 250 grand a week. But they still can't afford it, Barcelona. So at the moment, Messi is on a free. Who's going to be coming in for him? We don't know. Is this what Arsenal's been waiting for? Obviously, we would all love to see that, but we know it's never going to happen. But yeah, Messi is going somewhere next season on a free. In my honest opinion, listen, only Man City is going to be able to afford that if he comes to England, PSG, or maybe the MLS. Let's see, but that's another thing. Right, getting on to the main topic of conversation. As you all know, me and Chig, I done a stream and then Chig joined the stream while I was doing it a couple of weeks ago. In my eyes, we was giving honest, frank answers and backing up our answers with proper knowledge, right? With proper knowledge. And then obviously Diesel come on, ranting and raving, threw his toys at his pram, and obviously threw his hat in the ring, wanting to topple Lee Gunner to be the new leader of the Arteta hats. And for me, he's firmly done that at the moment. So I've got to give you a clap, Diesel. Well done, mate. Well done. First thing I want to do is pick you up on. I'll tell you what I want to pick you up on. And the first thing is that all this crybaby nonsense, right? That, oh, this is what you come out with, I think you said something along the lines of, I know that when I say this tonight, a lot of people are going to go against me. I'm not going to get a lot of likes and all that, and probably not get a lot of follows, and people will delete me. What a load of rubbish. Because facts again, Diesel, like I keep telling you, on Twitter, on Facebook, on Instagram, it's totally different to when you go to football games and when you speak to supporters away from the social media side, right? We all know that negativity sells. It sells. Let's be honest. I'm not going to beat around the bush tonight. It sells, right? It would be quite easy for me to go on your side of the thing, on your fence, and then be liked and let everyone big you up and do anything. But you know, I've never changed. I won't change. I've always been Arteta in. I've always said that I'm Arsenal through and through. I will back that up later on in the conversation. But the other night, you said that, oh, what you wait and see afterwards when we see the facts. In fact, what I do is I quickly get it up because you said this video won't get as many likes or ticks and all things like that than what Terry done before, because apparently everyone is Arteta in, right? So just to prove my fact, once again, Diesel, just to put the final now when you're in the coffin again, the last stream that I done before that, I got 146 likes with 2.6k, and that was welcome Ben White. But fans still not happy. And then you come out and threw your toys out the pram, and on your video, you got 3.3k, which is a lot more than me so far, and 324 likes. So it just goes to prove that this is why you've done it. And the way I look at it is that you've been missing in action the last few weeks. You've been out partying. I mean, look, you can see by this picture on my right, he's been living it up with the stars. He's made he's gone steam ahead, full steam ahead to be the head of the Arteta out crew. And listen, you're doing a good job at it, mate. If that's the way you want to carry on and be, I've not got a problem with it, mate. You've made your stance now. You threw your hat in the wind, and you're definitely top. And listen, I've had it confirmed by Bet365, Corals, William Hill, that this pitch, he's at top of the list at the moment, Diesel, on the Arteta rats. The odds have been slashed. Diesel's at the top. Unfortunately, Gunner, someone's took your place now, and Diesel is at the top of it at the moment, right? So let's get into it. Let's start breaking it down. He come on, and first of all, he come on straight after the friendly game last week against Chelsea, yeah? Chelsea. And he said, what I will do is, first of all, is I'll talk about the game. He talked about the game for about 30 seconds, about all the obvious, the awful defending, which it was, and then that was it. He didn't say anything about the new signings, didn't say anything about the other players whatsoever, right? That's all he said. So what I'm going to do is just quickly go, just give you a little breakdown of what I thought of the game. Obviously, we lost 2-1, but if you looked at the game, it should have been 2-2 really, because obviously the shot by Willock, we get onto that in a minute, but the shot by Willock hit the crossbar, absolutely went over the line and should have been 2-2. Not that it matters anyway, because it's a friendly, right? But we get onto the friendly bit in a minute. Obviously, the awful defending was terrible, absolutely terrible. But first of all, I'm going to say Partey in that first sort of 40 minutes, I thought was on absolute fire. I thought he was an absolute fire, and he looked like he was going to be an immense going forward in this season. Unfortunately, he's got an injury. Thank God it ain't a broken leg like, is it Fofana, or whatever his name is at Leicester. Listen, sorry to Leicester fans for your loss. He's going to be out for at least 16 to 18 weeks. I think he's going to be broken leg. Horrible tackle. But our thoughts and prayers are with him and all to get better soon. But yeah, it looks like Partey's going to be out for a couple of 2 or 3 weeks, the first 3 weeks. Maybe, hopefully, a bit sooner he'll be back. But yeah, I think Partey had a really good first half. To be honest, I thought the game was really, really good. I thought it was a really good game. It was fast. It was competitive. It wasn't like a training ground. I think Tierney had a great game too. I think he looked really good. Leno looked a bit shaky on his first game back. And I'll tell you the other one that really caught my eye in the first half, and that was Eddie Nketiah. I thought he looked really good. I've been saying all along, even to Diesel and to yourselves, that there's something about Eddie. There's something about him. And I think given the time, he'll become a really good player. But it depends how long he's going to take. Just before I carry on, we've got a super chat here from the Real Genius. This Arteta out business is nonsense, in my opinion. The reason being, all of us know there is only an handful of players who are good enough to play for Arsenal. Thank you very much for the super chat. I will get to comments later on. I just need to get all this out first. But yeah, moving on to the second half. The Conga, one of our new signings, come on. I thought he looked brilliant, absolutely brilliant in that second half. And people will probably say, well, it's only a friendly. We'll get onto that again in a minute. It's only a friendly, because Diesel made a big thing about that, and I want to bring that up in a minute. But the Conga, I thought he looked really good on the ball. He made some lovely long balls. He looks very, what's the word? I can't think off the top of my head, but he looks like he's very strong on the ball. I can't think of the word. I'm getting it all mixed up in my head now. But yeah, I think he was really good. White, come on. He made 3 clearances off the line. It just shows you how bad our defence was, to be honest. He made 3 clearances off the line and 1 massive one, and getting back from being out of position and recovering. I thought he looked really good, Ben White. Obviously, we had Tavares. Now, I want to bring this up because Warren, everyone knows Warren. I don't think he's in the chat at the moment, but Warren, he keeps coming at me saying, oh, but everyone's told him that Tavares can't defend and all that. Well, did you watch the game? Because if you watch the game, you would see that this kid has got a lot of speed, and he was out of position because he was downfield. And guess what? He got back and he defended. He got back because of his speed, and he defended and took them players out. So I thought he had a good game too. So all the 3 signings that we've made, which Diesel doesn't want to talk about at all, didn't mention them once. Didn't mention the 3 players once, really. Because obviously that's probably saying Arteta's not done a bad job picking these three. Do you know what I mean? That's the problem with Arteta out people. They can't just come at you and say, well, do you know what? I understand this and I understand that. It's one way with Arteta out, and that's it. Willock done really well. What a great goal. What a great goal that was. And that's about it, really. And like I said, it was a good game. But it should have been 2-2. Chelsea had a few chances. I'll tell you what I will say about Chelsea is that Diesel went off his nut and all that he wanted Werner last year, who Chelsea bought. And all last season, and even in that game the weekend, whenever he's on the ball, I'm not worried. I'm not worried whatsoever when he's on the ball. I don't know why. He doesn't look nothing like he played in Germany. Obviously, this might not be the league for him. But we will see. Now, going on to another thing, right? All I heard was, why is Kozniak and Xhaka and Bellerin, why are they all playing in a friendly when they shouldn't even be here and apparently we're selling them? Now, to a certain extent, I do understand where you're coming from, Diesel. But if you look at the Chelsea team, they had 5 or 6 players and brought some players on that won't even be anywhere near their first team. Nowhere near their first team. For instance, Tammy Abraham, right? Why was Chelsea playing him when he's been linked to Arsenal? When he's been linked to Atlantica? When he's been linked to Aston Villa? Now, it looks like he's going to go, doesn't it? So why would Chelsea play him? Is that because they wanted to put him in a shop window and hopefully he would look good so that they can get some money out of him? Now, that's what happens every single year. It happens every single year and every single team does it. But when Arsenal does it, or should I say when Arteta does it, oh, no, that's not good enough. That's not good enough. It's not good enough because I bet you any money, if you go back and watch the games under Arsene Wenger, under Emery, I bet you players were playing in the friendly that were sold afterwards. It's just business. It's business at the end of the day. And that's another big thing I want to bring up in a minute is business and Arsenal. Because that's another thing that Arteta out people and Diesel doesn't seem to understand. So we'll get onto that in a minute. Right. Second of all, right, I want to get onto this friendly part because this was a big, massive thing from Diesel. What are you talking about? It's a friendly for. It's a friend. There's no friendlies when you're playing Chelsea. There's no friendlies when you're playing Tottenham next week. This Sunday coming. There's no friendlies. Nah, isn't that funny? Because when I mention about that we won the Charity Shield, right, and we won, I know that we won the FA Cup and that wasn't a friendly, but when you talk about the Charity Shield, when you're playing in a game that you can actually win a trophy for, oh, it's only a friendly, Terry. No one cares about that thing. No one cares about that. What are you going on about that for, Terrell? What are you going on about for? Why are you bringing that up? It was just a friendly. No one cares about it. Right? Diesel went on about this friendly with Chelsea like the game was life or death. Where was this Diesel? Where was this passion, Diesel, when we did win the Charity Shield? Where was this passion and this Diesel, now that I think about it, when we won the FA Cup? Why didn't you show the passion then that you showed last week against Chelsea in a friendly that don't mean absolutely nothing whatsoever? Where was it? I'm asking. Because if you go back, I'm telling you now, everyone, you go back and watch them watch-alongs of them games, and a long time afterwards, even up to now, right? The difference in Diesel's face when we won it, right, was like, oh, yeah, we've won it. Yeah, it's all good. But it's still Arteta. I don't want this man. I don't want this man. Last Sunday, you showed your true colours, Diesel, and instead of sitting on the fence like sometimes you do, right, you completely went the opposite way. And you said it yourself. I'm using your words here. You said it yourself. Terry is so far left and we're so far right with this Arteta out rubbish, right? The Arteta rats. So basically, what you're basically saying is that you don't want. You've said you don't want Arteta out here, Arteta as our manager, but this time on Sunday, you could clearly see that the venom in your face and the way that you were speaking is that you do hate Arteta. You do hate him that he's our manager at Arsenal. You hate him. So why don't you just come out and say it? Why don't you just come out and properly say it instead of sitting on the fence and saying, well, you know, look, I hope he turns it around and, you know what I mean, we do win it and he proves me wrong. No, you don't. You don't want him to turn it around because you want him gone. So stop saying that. Come out and say it as it is. So that's the friendly. I still can't believe, honestly, that you sat here, right? You sat here on the video and you actually said that this friendly is as a derby and the amount of passion that you've shown. I was gobsmacked. Why haven't you shown this before, Diesel? This just goes to prove that you do hate Arteta. It does prove that you hate him, and I've got no problem in that. But come out and properly say it. And then also you said that, oh, listen, this is what these Arteta ins. They've got no. What is it? What's the word that you said? Let me think. Oh, I can't think of the word. But you was basically saying that because we're Arteta in, we're basically degrading Arsenal. We're not the true fans. You know what I mean? We shouldn't be thinking like this and everything like you were saying. Well, let me tell you something now, Diesel, right? Let me tell you something now and everyone else out there. When Emery was here, and I used to say all the time that I didn't want Emery here. Now, I just want to put this out there first before I say this, is that this is just my view, right? This is just my view, what I'm just about to say. This is just me. This is nothing to do with I don't think I'm better than any other supporter. This is just me, right? I've got a season ticket. I still was going every week under Emery. I was slagging him off, yes, but I still was going to support Arsenal. Arsenal, my football club. All this rubbish that I only support Arteta and it's Arteta once he leaves, Terry's going to be distraught and all things like that. What a load of rubbish. If he gets sacked, guess what? Arsenal will still be here. I still will have a season ticket and I still will be going to watch Arsenal. I still will be going to watch Arsenal. So all that rubbish about, oh, it's just Arteta in and you love Arteta and blah, blah, blah. What a load of rubbish, right? And like I said, that's got nothing to do with me saying I'm a better fan than anybody else because it ain't. Everyone's got their right to their opinion. Everyone's got the right to do what they want, support the way they want to support the club, even if it's in America, Africa, wherever, right? What I'm saying is when Emery was here and I didn't like Emery, I still showed my support for this club and I still went. But what I will say about you, Diesel, and all the other Arteta out, is that for instance, as soon as we lost in that European final, semi-final, right? It was like, I don't care about the last 6-7 games anymore. Don't care about them. Don't care if we do a watch along. I just don't care. It doesn't bother me anymore. Well, at the end of the day, using your words that you say all the time, Diesel, is this is Arsenal Football Club. This is Arsenal. Doesn't matter if Arteta's here. Doesn't matter if Emery's here. This is Arsenal. Well, exactly, Diesel. Exactly. It doesn't matter who's here. You should still have the same passion. But yeah, I understand that you can have your opinions and you don't want Arteta here. You don't want this here. But you still should be able to see positives sometimes. And you should still be able to say it. But this is what really pisses me off about Arteta out fans. It's like you're not allowed to say one little positive thing about Arsenal. Because if you do, then that's supporting Arteta. No, it's not. It's supporting your club. It's supporting your club. I want to see more of it, Diesel. I want to see more of that passion that you showed for our club, Arsenal. That's what I want to see. Right. Getting on now to the next bit, right? The next bit. Xhaka. Right. Sorry, I don't know if I've missed a super chat or someone. I think I've done the first one. Sorry, Randy Viper. We just need to accept Till as a loser mentality. Well, that's your opinion, Randy Viper. Like I keep saying, I can see things that's happening at the club that's going on behind the scenes, which I will explain a bit more actually after the Xhaka business, right? Let me get on to the Xhaka business first. Now, apparently, I haven't seen it, but like I said, Chig come on with me the other night. I thought we'd give honest and frank answers and backed up our opinions fantastically, right? And then Diesel And then, Chig felt the need that he had to go and defend himself on his own channel about what he said on this channel. Now, Chig, what I would say is listen, mate. I know you're in the crowd with a lot of Arteta out, and to be fair, even himself on that stream said that he wants Arteta out. He wants him out. He said it 2 or 3 times. But what he can do is that he could have a frank and honest discussion and say that where he can see things are happening, are going right and wrong and whatever, and that doesn't deter him. Don't let people bully you, Chig. I'm not saying that Diesel and all that's bullying you, but what I mean is there's a lot of people on Twitter that try and bully you and things like that, you know what I mean, and try and tell you that, oh, you're not allowed to say this, you're not allowed to say that. Fuck them off, mate. Fuck them off, Chig. Fuck them off. Right? What we both said about Xhaka. First of all, we said it about 3 or 4 times. We both do not want Xhaka at our club. We said it 3 or 4 times. Go and watch the stream. Obviously, I don't know if Diesel was watching or listening properly when he watched that show, but obviously, when you got blinkers on and you're just one way and it's just Arteta out, you don't care what's going on in the background. You don't care what else is being said. All you want to do is pick up on what you want to believe in, and that's it. Right, Xhaka, right? What we said was, or what I said was, is that I don't want him here. I don't want Xhaka here, right? But what I want is Arsenal to be a big club again, right? And this is out of Diesel's own words. He always says it, right? I want Arsenal to be a massive. We're a big club. We're a big club. And what he will come out with and say is that if we was a business, right? If we was a business and everyone sent you CVs and you looked at, say, Maureen's and Ancelotti's, and then you looked at Arteta's, why on earth would you pick Arteta? That's not what a big club does. That's not what a big club does. That's what comes out of Diesel's mouth all the time, right? That's his own words. What I'm going to say now is with Xhaka, right? What I said was, just in case anyone didn't see it or read or watch it, I said that I don't want Xhaka here, but I understand why Arsenal, as a club and as a business, are turned down, even if there was a bid from Roma, because let's be honest, no one knows, unless we believe someone in the chat, they believe it, or we believe the ITKs that they believe it. I haven't seen anything from Mourinho saying that they put a bid in. I haven't seen anything from Roma saying that they put a bid in. I haven't seen anything from Arsenal saying that they've received a bid. So all we're doing is believing what the ITKs and the papers are saying, or what some geezer named Peter in Chelmsford said. Right? So what I'm going to say is Arsenal, if they did receive a bid for £12 million, then I am glad that Arsenal are acting like a big club again and telling these pricks to fuck off, because 12 million for an international captain that let's be honest, has had a good Euros. Now, he's got experience, right? He's got experience and he had a great Euros, like I just said. Now, on the other hand, right, we might be sending, if you listen to the rumours, Willock for between 20 and 25 million to Newcastle. If we do, brilliant business, right? But what experience has he got in international level? He's got none. Xhaka, as much as we don't like, some of us don't like him, I don't like him. I don't want him at our club, right? I don't want him at our club. But he's an international captain. He's got loads of international caps and he's got loads of experience. He's just come off the back of a great Euros tournament that put himself right in the shop window. Let's be honest, right? Let's take away that we ate Xhaka. Let's take that away. Let's just make out that Xhaka is just a player. Let's take away that he plays for Arsenal, right? As an international captain with experience like he's got, he's worth more than 20, 25 million in my eyes. I know that I turn around, I hold my hands up. This is the thing. When I know that I've said something, I've done anything, I will always hold my hands up. Always, right? I know that I said, I'll just get rid of him. Just, I just want 5-10 million for him. whatever. You know what I mean? But realistically, if you're acting like a big club, now let's all be real here. If you're acting like a big club, right, you need to get as much money for your players to then go and recoup and get players, right? So Arsenal, in my eyes, have done the right thing. They're acting like a big club, right? And then I will use another thing that Diesel says, right? Go back to last year when we was trying to get Partey, and you listen to all the ITKs and the rumours saying that, oh, I can't remember how much we got him for, but just say, for instance, they want 40 million. We've put a bid in for 30 million. And then we put a bid in 35 million. And then we'll turn around and, like Diesel says, Arsenal, stop fucking about. Go out there and pay the money. You know how much it is. Pay each release clause of whatever it is, 40 million, right? Just pay it. So why can't we do that as a club on the reverse? Why can't we turn around and say to Roma, you want Xhaka? This is how much he is. You pay the money for him. You pay what we want. If you don't, then go away. Why have we got to be the full club all the time? But like I said, yous and me, we don't know. We don't know if Roma even put a bid in for him. They might have had a little chat with Xhaka and said, would you be interested in coming, blah, blah, blah. And then they turned around and they said, yeah, all right, yeah, I would like to come. They might have had an agreement that they pay his wages and whatever. But what's that got to do with it? If Arsenal don't get the money they want for him, that means nothing. It means nothing. I don't understand why people don't understand this. And let me be honest with you now. You're all sitting there probably thinking, oh, he's deluded. What's he talking about? Blah, blah. But when you actually sit down afterwards and you listen to what I've actually said, you won't admit it. I know you won't admit it, but you will understand what I'm saying, because we are a business and all at the end of the day. As much as it's our club and we love Arsenal, this is a business, right? And it's not rocket science to know that we can't always keep letting our players go for a free or for cheap money. Because if that happens, then guess what? Yes, we will be a mediocre club because we won't be able to keep up with everyone. And that's what we've not been doing for ages. And that leads me on to a business, right? A business. This is what I mean by Arsenal going in the right direction and what Arteta and they're doing, all that's done, right? In the last couple of seasons since he's been here, we have now signed all of our young players, right? Saka, Martinelli, Smith Rowe, Balogun, Eddie Nketiah, Tierney, all to 5-year deals. All to 5-year deals, which Emery and Gazidis and all them didn't do, and what they didn't do when Wenger was here. Do you know what that's done? Do you know what that's done? What that's done is that's looking after our assets as a football club. As a football club. Because let's just say next season, right, that Saka and Smith Rowe have the season of their lives. Right? They have the season of their lives and we do get up into the top 4 in the Champions League or whatever. That means that, you know, just like Jack Grealish, that Man City could come in for Xhaka next season and they'd be able to pay what they want for him, right? But next season, that will probably mean, because he's on a 5-year contract, because he's only like 21 years old, his contract is going to be more or less the same as Grealish or more. That is just an example. I'm not saying that's going to be for real, but what I'm saying is that's an example. We've signed our young players down to long-term contracts for our own club, for our own assets. That's fantastic. Why didn't Emery do that? He's an experienced manager that's won loads of trophies elsewhere. I can't understand why he didn't do that, or he didn't tell Gazidis to do that. Why? Why did they do it? That's a question I would ask everyone, right? Obviously, we've gone out and bought 3 new players so far. Yes, it's probably not the marquee signings that everybody wants, right? It's not the marquee signings that everybody wants, but I still think there's 2, maybe 3 players still to come in. And I think one of them will hopefully be a big signing. And we all know that is because obviously it's on everybody's lips at the moment. The transfer rumours are out there. Obviously, James Madison. I think if we get him, then obviously that propels our transfer business right up there in my eyes. Because there's only two players that I've been saying over the last 3 or 4 years that I would love at this club, and that is Grealish and Madison. Obviously, Grealish has gone to Man City. Good luck to him. I hope he does well. But Madison, if we get him, hopefully, then that will make us really be a good transfer window for me. What was else I going to say? I think that's about it, really. I think I got that off my chest. What I will say is like I said before, is that Diesel has definitely thrown his hat in the ring, like I said before. He wants to be the Arteta hat. Listen, like I said, right, is that Diesel always sits on the fence most of the time saying, oh, you know, I don't really hate him, blah, blah, blah. But he come out last week and he's definitely shown his true colours, which is fine. I've got no problem with that. No problem with that whatsoever. He's shown his true colours, and it does not matter what Arteta does in my eyes. Even if we won the league or anything like that, it does not matter. Does not matter. He doesn't want him here, and I've got no problem with that. But just come out and say it. Just come out and say it. But what I will do is now, probably, if I will try and, I don't think I can think of anything else. I will open up the chat to everyone, and I will try and answer a few questions. But like I said, I know for a fact that 95% of you will be turning around. I haven't even been reading the chat, to be honest. So, when I go back and look at it, I'm telling you now that 95% of yous will be saying that Diesel is the king, and I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm deluded. I'm this, I'm that. That's fine. I've got no problem with that. That's your opinion, and that's what this is all about. Like I said, he's always going on about that he's trying to get more followers than me on Twitter and Instagram. So I suppose this is a great way of getting himself known out there. And like I said, if you look at the photos, he's out living it up with the stars dancing. He was on stage the other night with the singers from So Solid Crew, I think it was. You know, he's getting his name out there now. There's a big charge. He's got a big charge on Diesel, and well done to him. I've got no problem with that. If that's what he wants to be the voice of the Arteta hats, and he's your boy. Listen, good luck to him. And I like I said, I love him to pieces, but there's only one way this is going to go at the moment, and we ain't going to know that until the season starts. Once the season starts, obviously, I might be right in what I'm saying. There might be a couple of more players coming in. Hopefully they do. And maybe Arteta might get it right. Probably might go the other way. And Diesel will be right, which will, he'll be standing up there with an even bigger smile on his face, wearing a bigger hat, saying, Terry, I told you so. I buried you. Listen, and if he does, I'll hold my hands up. It's no problem. But what I will say is that I support Arsenal. I support Arteta at the moment. It might be blind faith, like a lot of people say, and you don't know what you're talking about. But I would say the same thing about Diesel and other people when Emery was here. That was blind faith too. And another thing that I want to talk about just quickly before I open it up, right? Another thing is that all I've seen Diesel do is basically tweet out about when White, I think, or Lokonga was when Arsenal itself tweeted it out. All he done was like a retweet. It's to say, I better put something out just to show that obviously my love for Arsenal is real, right? So that's all he's done. He put some long speech about Varane from Man United. Put some long speech about it, like who do you think he gets in the best 20? Do you think this? Who gives a shit about Varane? He's going to Man United. Who gives a shit about Guendouzi when he talks about Guendouzi? He's gone. How about talk about Ben White or Lokonga or Tavares that have come here? Oh no, what I want to talk about is Martinez, who's at Aston Villa. This is what I'm saying. Apparently, you are all Arsenal fans, but the Arteta out people want to talk about fucking Guendouzi. He's gone over to Marseille. They want to talk about him still. And the funny thing is, I'll tell you what the funny thing is, right? The funny thing is, what was it? On Twitter earlier on. I can't think of the player who it was. Oh, that was it. I'll tell you what it was, right? The other day, there was Arteta out people, right? Arteta out people that was posting about Guendouzi and what he was doing in the game the other day, right? It was about 2 minutes long, the video, how great he was. Look, Arsenal, look what you done, Arteta. What have you done? Got rid of him, right? And now someone done exactly the same thing today about Ozil. He had 7 assists in the game last night, apparently. And then everyone was saying, "Oh, the Turkish league is a boring league. It's pathetic. What? It's obviously he's going to do it there." you can't write it, mate. You can't write it. You can't. Honestly, this is what I mean. People say that the Arteta ins is so blinkered. It's not, because the Arteta in, what we will turn around and say is that yeah, we support the manager. Yeah, I'm behind Arteta, but I'll tell you now, of course it all can fuck up. Of course it can. Of course it all can go the right way. If he doesn't go out and we don't get 2 or 3 new players, then it's going to be a really hard season for Arsenal next season. Of course it is. You don't need to be a rocket scientist to work that out, but we don't need to talk about it every single 2 minutes of the day. Of course we don't. But the Arteta out, oh no. Look what we've done. We're going nowhere. We're going nowhere. There's no way on earth that we're going to finish in the top 6 or 7. We're going to finish 15th or 16th, like Warren keeps going on about. That's what I mean. You're just so blinkered. It's just so one way. It's just, you can't even comprehend that Arsenal could do this or Arsenal could do that. Because you know why? You don't want Arteta here. You don't want Arteta here. You don't just come out and say it. It's fine. Right. That's my rant over and done with. Obviously, it's nearly 45 minutes gone already. I haven't got that long before I've got to go work, people. So what I would do is, listen, I want to say thank you to everyone that's been in the chat, because it's been absolutely brilliant. 154 watching. But what I want to do is get back to some of you, what you want to ask me. Tell me how deluded I am. You know what I mean? Go and add more likes on Diesel's last video to support him. You know, you can leave now if you really want. It's up to you. It's not a problem. You know, I've not, like I keep saying, these are just my opinions. If you don't want to listen to me, it's not a problem. You know, you can. There's other podcasts out there, or wait until Diesel's on. You know, it's no problem whatsoever, guys. Right, let's have a look. Ben, thank you very much, mate. Hope you're well. Thank you for coming on. Where do you think Arsenal will finish, Terry? It's an hard question at the moment, Ben, to be honest, because obviously I'm hoping that we do go out and get Madison. Right, what I'm going to do now is I've heard some whispers. Right, I've heard some whispers from my mate who knows an ex-footballer, professional footballer, and he's basically, this is not gospel, because like I said, I don't listen to ITKs or anything like that. I only get excited because if this is true, I'd be a lot more excited than what I am now, believe me. Right? But he said that the Madison deal is done. It's all signed. And the other one that is basically over the line is Tammy Abraham's. That's just what he said. Like I said. And then watching, to be honest, watching Brendan Rodgers' interview earlier on, when for the first sort of minute, he was all great. He knew what he wanted to say, and God knows what, it was all fine. And then straight after that, when another interviewer asked him the question, he was fumbling like I fumble all the time and didn't know what to say after that. So after watching that, that's given me a little bit more hope. But listen, I'm not going to get excited until he's holding up the shirt. So, but if we get Madison and we get a couple of more others, I would like to say that we'd finish 6th or 5th. I think it's going to be really hard, personally, to get in the top 4. Obviously, Man City and Chelsea I think it's going to be first and second. And then you've got Liverpool, you've got Man United, you've got Leicester, you've got Tottenham. You know, there's. I think we would get 6th or 5th if we get them players. If we don't, and it's only these 3 players that we've got, which I don't think it is. But if it's only these 3 players that we've got, then it is definitely going to be an hard season coming ahead. But a lot of people, again, you know, people, the Arteta outs don't want to know this, right? The Arteta outs don't want to know this. And I haven't seen one Arteta out report on this. But Ben White's agent come out and said, this is facts. He come out and said that Ben White is not going to be the only big signing at Arsenal. But you don't want to know that, do you? Because you'd rather listen to ITKs, and these ITKs telling you that Xhaka is going to Roma, and Roma's put a bid in for him for like 4 weeks. You'd rather believe that. And then all of a sudden, it doesn't come out that he's going to Roma, and that, in fact, he's staying at Arsenal. And that's just reminding me. Aaron, I mean, honestly, the Arsenal fan base is something else, honestly, when it comes to the ITKs and the transfer rumour shit, right? Because what a great spin that the ITKs and the papers have done already about the Xhaka deal, right? Oh, Arsenal are giving him a new 4-year contract. Has anyone actually read on what's going on? Xhaka's deal didn't finish until 2023. So basically, all Arsenal have done is added a year and then added a year where they can both sit down and say, do we want you still? Do you want to go? So all they've done is added a year to his original contract plus another year. Now, I'm not saying that that's great or it's any better than what they've been saying. But if you listen to everything that they've been saying, it's 4-year new contract. But no one wants to sit down and listen to that. That's what I'm saying. Oh, Arteta this, Arteta that, blah, blah, blah. This is all Arteta's fault. It's blah, blah, blah. I don't want him here. But like I said, all they're trying to do as a club is protect their assets. Now, if Xhaka does stay and he's got this contract and he does get game time and he does what Martinez done and he comes back into the squad again and he plays his art out and he carries on where he left off in the Euros and he has a really good season. Now, come next season, the 20 million that we wanted for him is going to turn out to be 30, 35, 40 million. Do you understand? Does people understand that? Do people understand what business is? Because it doesn't seem like it does to me. But again, that's just me. That's just my opinion. But yeah, Ben, thank you very much for your comment, mate. I appreciate that, mate. AJ saying 63 likes. I expected it, AJ. And this just goes to prove my facts about social media, right? Negativity sells. If you're negative about Arsenal and you're negative about Arteta at the moment, because obviously, let's be honest, the Arteta out thing is massive now. It's growing in a big way. And obviously, Diesel is the main person now, putting his head firmly to the top there. And that's where he's going to stay now. But yeah, 63 and 26 dislikes. Like I said, and I wouldn't be surprised if I go back on Diesel's one afterwards and find that the likes have gone up on each one and the dislikes have gone up on my other one. I've not got a problem with that, mate. I'm not going to change my view. No one's going to tell me what I'm allowed to think and what I'm allowed to say and what I'm allowed to do. That's what I'm saying. I'm not going to be bullied into anything. So it's not a problem. So all this, oh, you know, Terry gets all these likes and Terry gets this and the Arteta arena is so much bigger than the Arteta out. It's a load of rubbish, Diesel. I've been saying this for ages. When you look at Twitter and Facebook and Instagram and all that, everything on there is all against Arteta. I've been saying it for ages, and this goes to prove it now. It proves it. This is facts. It's facts. But like I said, and when you say, it's funny hour, isn't it? It's funny hour and all when you say, oh, fans are back this year. Watch what happens at Arsenal. Well, there was 20 fans at the friendly match. Don't don't forget what ain't a friendly. It's not a friendly. This is Chelsea we're playing. This is a London derby. Your words. And all I heard or see on Twitter was a few fans booing Willian. There was nothing about Arteta, nothing booing about because we lost the game. And there was 20,000 fans in there. A quarter of the stadium was filled. This is what I'm trying to say to you. The social media side of things doesn't count for hardly anything in the real life. That's facts. That's facts. I know people don't want to listen to that, but it is. A lot of people can see what is happening in the background and what Arsenal and Arteta are trying to do. I know you don't want to hear that, and I understand that. But there's a lot going on when you actually sit down and you actually realise what has gone on so far. And like I said, especially I'm so pleased and grateful that our club have signed our players up, especially Xhaka and Smith Rowe and even Balogun, who, let's be honest, all the Arteta hats last season loved Balogun. And he didn't even play a game for us. And now, because he signed for 5 years, you don't even hear about him now from the Arteta hats because that's all they was banning on about. Oh, we fucks up the youngsters, Arteta. He doesn't want to play the youngsters. I don't know. All right. Let's see what else we got. Yazza has put, but Terry, can you explain why you said this has been a fantastic transfer window? You gave him an 8 out of 10. That was at the beginning when we signed these three players. I thought, personally, I'll hold my hands up. Personally, I thought we would have had another 1 or 2 in by now. I'm still not worried about it. There's still 3 weeks to go. If it does come to the end of the transfer window and we've only just bought these 3 players, then I will have something to say about it. But until then, am I going to lose my shit about it? Am I going to throw my toys out of the pram? Or am I going to wait until the actual final minute of the final transfer window to see what we have actually done and who we have actually got rid of? Because let's be honest, before anyone says, oh, but we're Arsenal, because all yous will talk about Aston Villa, what they have done and what Leicester have done, all things like that. But how many teams have actually got rid of how many teams in the Premiership have actually got rid of a load of their players yet? Hardly any. And it's funny, right? Arsenal, we always seem to wait. When we get a player, it takes ages for us to get them, right? Because obviously we have to wait for other teams to do their business. But this ain't that the same with what Man City's done to Aston Villa. We all knew that, really, let's be honest, and on art, we all knew that Grealish was going to Man City. That rumour's been going around for 2-3 weeks. But what Villa turned around to him and said is look, obviously he's going to be your player, but can we just wait 2 or 3 weeks so that we can go out, get the players in, and then obviously you can have Grealish. And that's what's happened. And that's what Arsenal were trying to do. So that next season, that's what I'm saying. Next season, if Xhaka has a great season, hopefully he will stay with us and we can keep him. But if he has another great season, he's going to be worth 70, 80 million next season. We're protecting our assets at this club. We're acting like a big club at the moment. But you won't see that yet. You don't want to know about that yet. You don't want to know about what's in the future because you want everything right now. Right now. You wanted it 2 years ago, in fact. But our club was so far in the shit 2 years ago, so far in the shit, that you couldn't see any of that. You still can't see any of it. I'm hoping, obviously, that it turns round and that, obviously, if he goes out and gets 2 or 3 players, that will propel us in the league. And then, obviously, other things will start going that way too, in the right direction. It also can go the other way. It could also go the other way. I'll also will have to sit here and take everything from news if it goes the other way. But at the moment, I'm hoping that it goes the right way. And like I keep saying, I can see what's going on in the background. I can see that he's changing all the staff and getting all these technicians in and everything like that, what he wants. But doesn't mean that it's 100% concrete and he's definitely going to turn us around. I know that, but I support him and backing him, and hopefully he will get it right. Oak Gaming, you're living in a fantasy world. Maybe I am. Maybe I am, Oak. Maybe I am. But if I ain't, and it does happen, why could I see it and all you couldn't? Like I said, I'm not saying that it's going to happen, but there's nothing. This is what I'm saying. It's all one way with yous lot, mate. It's all one way. You don't want to see that side of it. You don't want to see that side of it. Rolfie One, Terry, you are a joke. Thank you very much, mate. What else can I say to that? That's your opinion. I appreciate your opinion. Not everyone's going to like my opinions. I know that. But thank you very much. I appreciate that, mate. 1991, Abs is saying, hope is a dangerous thing, bro. Of course it is. But ain't that what you do every season? Ain't that what we do every season? Obviously, we'd like to be in a much better place. Of course we would be. Of course we would. Everyone would, all of us would like to be in a much better place with a much better squad. But if we do go out and get Madison, if we do go out and get another 2 players, as well as the 3 players that we've got now, honestly, hand on heart, can you really turn around and say, oh, do you know what? Arsenal are going in the wrong direction still? Would you still believe that? Would you still believe that Arsenal would be going in the wrong direction if we did get Madison and if we did get 2 other players? Or would you say, I'll tell you what would happen, right? I'll tell you what would happen. This will be the next thing out of Arteta's mouth and Diesel's mouth and things like that. If we get Madison, right, it'd be, well, Arteta didn't get him. Arteta didn't get him. Arsenal went out and got him. That's what will be the next thing. I will guarantee you that would be the next thing. But ain't it Arteta that's gone out and got these players already? Because that's what everyone says. These are Arteta's players that he's getting bought. But you watch, as soon as we go out and make a statement, if we do, which I'm hoping we do, it might not. If we do go out and make a statement and do get Madison, then I bet you any money people will be turning around saying, do you know what? Arteta didn't do that. Arsenal did it. Because Arteta people don't want it. Your sentiment, Terry, you're not a joke. You're a good guy. A little over optimistic about the club. Thank you very much, mate. Really appreciate that. But like I said, it's just my opinion. No one has to agree with it. But just because I'm backing Arteta, at the end of the day, we all want the same thing. We all want Arsenal to be great. We all want Arsenal to win the league. We all want Arsenal to be in the Champions League and be competing, not just being in there to make the numbers up. Because I heard Diesel say that the other day that, Terry doesn't want us in the Champions League. What I've actually said, Diesel, again, you just blinkered. You just want to hear what you want to hear. Is that I don't want us in the Champions League, just making the numbers up and getting smashed every single week with the team that we had. Because that team that we had under Emery, like everyone keeps going on about, even Lee Gunner and yourself, look at the team that he had, and he got us to the Europa League final. Well, do you remember when we had I had the thing with Lee Gunner, the second one, and I said, well, didn't Arteta win the FA Cup and the Charity Shield with the same team? No, he didn't do that. No, he didn't. But then we started counting, didn't we? We started counting the amount of players that was in that team. And how many was in that team for Arteta that was in Emery? All of them was. And that's when Lee Gunner said that he was going to go off if I didn't shut up. Do you remember? Another fact. But what do I know? That's what I'm saying. What do I know? Lone Star is saying Madison doesn't solve the centre midfield problem, but he would be an expensive complement to the team. Lone Star, he doesn't. He's not a defensive midfielder. He's more of attacking midfielder, number 10 on the flanks and places like that. But for me, Madison is a absolute statement of a signing. Not only would he be a statement of a signing, because one, right, Leicester at the moment, let's be honest, they've been doing a lot better than us. in transfer wise, playing wise. Obviously, they've won the FA Cup last year. Good, well done to Leicester. Well done to Leicester. And a lot of people would turn around and say, that's a backward step. But that's not a backward step. Arsenal are a massive club. They are a massive club. And hopefully, if he does come, he will get us going in the right direction again, because he is a massive, massive statement of a player. There is negatives with him. Obviously, he does pick up some injuries, let's be honest. But I think 70, even 80 million for a player of Madison's ability, I think he is absolutely phenomenal. Like I said, there's two players that I've wished for at Arsenal for the last 3-4 years, and that's Grealish and Madison. So if we can get him, for me, that is a massive, massive, massive statement. Mind Folklore said, Terry, I love your opinions and passion for the club. Keep up the great work, fella. Thank you very much, mate. No problem. What else we got here? Max, how you doing, mate? Hope you will. If all your fans were like Lee Gunner, you'll probably be a lot better. Unfortunately, Max, I don't listen. Lee Gunner is a lovely fella. It's a lovely fella. I know a lot of people don't like him. He's like my mate. On Arsenal, I don't agree with anything that he says, basically, to be honest. That's just my opinion. The same again with Diesel. Even when we won the FA Cup and the Charity Shield, was he really that happy and bothered that we won it? I don't think he was, because obviously he says it himself. He says it himself that he doesn't want Arteta. He doesn't like him. That's his own opinion. I've got respect for him for saying that. But I thought, if you listen to all these Arteta people all the time, we should be supporting Arsenal. So it shouldn't matter who the manager is at the moment if we're winning things. And when we are winning things, we should be supporting them. And even when we're losing, we should be supporting Arsenal, but having our our debates and saying, why is it going in this direction? And why is it not going in the right direction? I've got no problem with that. But there's no need to be negative all the time, 100% of the time, and not see any positives, or even if you do see a positive, turn around and say, do you know what? I've got to give him his due here. Got to give Arsenal their due and Arteta his due. That's fine. You know what I mean? But you can't, because as soon as you do that, then it's like you're backing Arteta. King Tony, thank you very much for your super chat, mate. Terry, you say Madison is a statement only if it's true and actually happens, as it is not exactly from a reliable source. Listen, like I said, I don't take anything for granted, even from this person. This person told me about Pepe was coming before a lot of people, but did I believe it? I don't believe anything until it's actually done. For the simple reason, King Tony, is look at Xhaka. Xhaka apparently was going to Roma. Bellerin was supposed to be going to Inter Milan. Conte was supposed to be Tottenham manager. If you listen to all these ITKs and things like that, it's not done until both clubs, or in some cases, if they're free agents, that they've signed the actual deal at the club. Once they're at the club and you've got pictures of the player holding up the shirt, then that's a 100%. That's when I start getting excited. Until then, even when I hear stuff, even if I think, oh, it's time for me to get excited here, it's time for me to get excited, I'm still going to wait just in case it all falls through. What we got here? Excuse me. AJ saying, Mike, that's most dislikes I've ever seen on any stream. There you go. That's what I'm saying. Honestly, it doesn't bother me. Dislikes helps us either way. Dislikes or likes. But all this rubbish about, Arteta ins, there's more of them on social media than what there is, or there's 50-50 like Diesel says. This just goes to prove what a load of rubbish it is. Because if you go back and I look at the chat, I'm going to say probably 85 to 90% of them are all for Arteta out, or all for Diesel. That's facts. That's the truth. There's no point lying about it. We can sit here and lie and make you feel better if you want. If you want me to make you feel better and polish, shine your egos, all right then. Arteta out's a minority on social media. If you want me to lie, I don't know. Flo, my good mate from Australia, how you doing? He's saying, Terry, you're giving Arteta in a do the props for signing our youngsters. How about the likes of El Nini, Laka, William, Bellerin, Xhaka, Olding, Chambers, all deadwood, they still here. Some have extended continual. Flo, like I said earlier, where are all these ITKs saying that these clubs want to buy Chambers or Olding or Xhaka or Bellerin? Where are all these clubs? Where are all the ITKs saying that Roma wants Xhaka, Inter want Bellerin. Oh, they're putting a bid in for him. They want him for this price. They want him for that price. This is how bad our club got to. But people don't want to look at it like that. It's all Arteta don't want to sell these players and Arsenal can't sell these players. You just don't want to have that conversation, do you? Because you think that we're holding on to them and that we're telling clubs to go away. We don't want to sell these players. Even for the likes of Willock, right? Willock. A lot of Arsenal fans will turn around and say, we should keep him after the performance he had against Newcastle. Maybe he just can't do it in an Arsenal shirt. And at Newcastle, the pressure's off of him and he looks good at Newcastle and he made it. But why ain't other clubs coming in for him? Why is it only Newcastle coming in for him after what he done? I don't understand it. But why ain't clubs coming in for these players, Flo? You tell me. I'll put a question back to you. Craig is saying, Terry, you're in big trouble like Arsenal will be for the new season. Craig, I possibly could be, mate. I've got no qualms with that. But I'm not going to be bullied into saying that just because yous are all Arteta at, and I should all agree with yous and I should come on your train, because that's never going to happen, Craig. I'm my own person. I back Arteta at the moment, and I'm backing Arsenal. It's as simple and easy as that. Right, I've got another sort of five minutes at the most, guys. Because then I've got to go to work. Stephen saying, hope you're having some beers tonight. Stephen, unfortunately, I can't, mate. I'm driving. Tomorrow night, I definitely will be, because I'll be off then. But thanks, mate. Hope you will. AJ saying, Terry, I can see what Arteta has done for the club. He has helped going forward. The reason I don't want him here is because I feel like the pressure, the too great for him to deal with the inexperience he has. AJ, listen, I've got no problem with that, mate. I'm glad that you can see what I can see and that he is trying to move Arsenal forward. Some of the great stuff that is going on at Arsenal with signing these players up and looking after our assets. You know, like I said, how great is it that Aston Villa, one of their own, Jack Grealish, the fans thought he was never going to go. We all knew he was going to go because he was too big for the club, unfortunately. Nothing against Aston Villa, but they've sold their player that they paid nothing for £100 million. Now they can go out and get 2-3 fantastic players. That's great business. Great business. Fantastic for the club. Do you understand now what I'm trying to say? If that happens with Saka, we don't want him to go. I'm not saying that I want to sell him. But what I'm saying is that if a team like Man City come in for him, they're going to have to pay something like for him if he carries on with his form and that. It's great business. Why didn't managers do this before? Why has it took for apparently these clans, these unexperienced people to do that? This should have been done 2 years ago under Emery and Gazidis. But that's just my opinion. It's just my opinion. What else we got here? Liam saying, I'm always Arteta in. Oh, yes, but not at the Villarreal game. Ended when said Arteta out. So you weren't always Arteta in. Liam, I don't understand it. Obviously, that was pure emotion that night. Pure emotion. I was upset, angry, disgusted with what I just watched and saw. Obviously, I thought it was going to go in a different direction. I was the one that looked to mug that night because I said, obviously, we was easily going to beat Emery. I hold my hands up. But it was just a moment of madness. The next day, I can see what is going on at the club and where he's trying to go. And hopefully we get these players in. And, just because I said it once, you know what I mean? I don't understand it. But I suppose you've got nothing else to really go on with me, have you? That's the only thing I probably said. But there you go. Jake, emotion, he's laughing out loud. Just like you, Jake, when you were saying about, Klopp all last season, want him out. And all of a sudden, you got in top 4, and now he's in, isn't he? So it's pure emotion, isn't it? It's what you saw, what you can see, what you think at the time. Surely you should understand that, being one of the only Liverpool fans out there saying that Klopp should have been sacked. But, what do I know? Again, there you go. Stephen saying lots of dislikes here. Come on, people. What else? Umar saying the falling giants, United and Arsenal, now have PE teachers as their managers. That's another thing, isn't it? Eh? All the Arteta hats all they kept going on about was, oh, Man United fans, look, they know how to do it. They know how to protest. What, is everything all hunky and dory now at Man United because they've got Sancho and Varane? It was only a couple of months ago they was charging their own stadium, having a protest. Haven't heard anything since now. What, so since Sancho comes in, everything's all hunky dory, is it? And now Solskjaer is a fantastic manager. Well, I don't know, but who wants to talk about Man U? I don't really, but just another thing. Dean Craig is saying, you're a top man, but I generally think you're backed Arteta so much you're afraid to stop now because you look like a knob. But honestly, that's the only explanation I have because how can you back him? Like I said, there's a lot of reasons why I back Arteta at the moment. We finished 8th twice, yes. That's all I hear from Arteta hats. That's the only thing you've got to go on. You wasn't singing and dancing, was you, when we won the FA Cup? Oh, yeah, but let's see what he does in the future. The FA Cup, who have we played? This was all the excuses coming out from Mr. Lee Gunner and Diesel. Oh, who have we really played? I mean, the FA Cup is quite easy to win, really, isn't it? Coming out with excuses on why we've just won the FA Cup. When I look back on it now, it was there all along. They don't care. They didn't care about Arsenal. They don't care about Arsenal now, really. Because Arteta's here at the moment. They don't want to support Arsenal, really, at the moment. Why Arteta's here? Let's be honest, they don't. But apparently, we support Arsenal. It's not Arteta. Like I said, when I didn't want Emery, I didn't want Emery here, but I went every week. I still went. I still paid my money. I still went and supported Arsenal, not Emery, Arsenal. But there you go. Listen, guys, look, I've got to shoot off now. Thank you very much all for joining me. Listen, keep hitting the dislike button. Prove me right even more. Prove me right even more that obviously, like I said, does not matter anymore what I say. Obviously, everyone's going to jump on the diesel bandwagon. Good luck to him. If it all turns out right, that Diesel is going to be right and Arteta will be sacked next season, then it'll all be hunky-dory. You'll all be able to come on and laugh at me and, do whatever you want. I can take the banter. I love the banter. I love having it with yous. Love every single one of yous, even though you call me whatever you want. You have a laugh with me. It's not a problem. You know what I mean? I love debating with people. But if he doesn't get sacked, like Lee Gunner stated last season, and I told him on more than loads of occasions that he wouldn't be sacked, I will be laughing. But I won't be laughing because what I'll be saying is look, I don't know how you couldn't see it, guys. Diesel. Thanks, David. Hope you're well, mate. But I'd just like to say, look, in all honesty, you know what I mean? Diesel, I love you, mate. But listen, no more of this sitting on the fence shit, yeah? You don't like Arteta. I'll say it as it is. You want him. I know you said you want him gone anyway, but you do hate him. You don't want Arsenal to do well at the moment because you're not bothered even when we do win. Even if, I'll tell you now, right? Watch the response from Diesel and Lee Gunner if we do beat, which is a big, massive if. Let's be honest, a big, massive if we did beat Chelsea or Man City. Oh yeah, but look, it's only the early of the season. You know, we've only just started, and the players ain't really come back yet. So let's see what happens. They won't be happy for us that we just beat Man City or Chelsea or whatever. They'll be looking for excuses. So Diesel, what I want to say to you is come this season when we do the watch-alongs, have the same passion, right? For if Arsenal win, because it ain't a friendly, is it, mate? It's not a friendly. We support Arsenal, not Arteta. So it doesn't matter if you turn around and say, yes, what a great win, Arsenal there. Well done, Saka. Well done, Aubameyang, if they do score and all that. You don't have to mention Arteta and say, well, yeah, but if I cheer for Arsenal because we beat Man City or Chelsea, that's going to make Arteta look good and Terry look good. No, do it because you love Arsenal, not for anyone else, mate. Not for anyone else. Do it for you. But listen, guys, look, thank you very much for watching. Really appreciate you coming on and supporting the channel. Don't forget to hit the likes button for Diesel's one. Hit the dislike for my one. It's not a problem. And I think we'll be back again the weekend, definitely. We might even do a watch-along for the game against Tottenham, which is not a friendly. So I want to see the passion, Diesel, that it's not a friendly, and it means everything to you that we're playing a game against Tottenham because it's the North London derby, and it doesn't matter that manager is Arteta because we support Arsenal, don't we, Diesel? Your words. We support Arsenal. Anyway, guys, thank you very much. I need to get to work now. All stay safe. See you all soon. Peace out. Arteta in.